there are those who are majorly concerned about how this coalition is going to work when you have an Atiku Abubakar who's nursing a presidential ambition, who's always nursed a presidential ambition. You have a Peter Obi who obviously wants to be president and does not intend to deputize anyone. We also have an Rotimi Amechi, who's come out to say he also intends to lead the country. El Rufai has said plainly that he's not interested in any presidency whatsoever, but his duty is to remove the president that he put there. How can we be certain that this coalition is not built to implode midway before you get to what you actually want to achieve, when there are too many people with personal interest? And there are also rumors that you might throw your ticket open, which might also mean that you become a sinking ship.
Oh, yes. I mean, I would expect there to be primaries. I would expect that different people would want to contest. I would expect that we would have multiple presidential aspirants. I would expect to have multiple governorship aspirants. We're not a dictatorship. This party is not a one-man party set aside for one person's ambition. It is for Nigeria and Nigerians. So all Nigerians should be able to be free to pick a ticket and may the best man win. So I really don't understand the idea that if Atiku comes in, Obi cannot come in. If Obi comes in, Amici cannot come in. They will slug it out at the primaries. I only have one vote. I will make that vote for who I want. If they have ambitions, and those ambitions are beyond Nigeria's interests, then, good luck to them. But if the ambition is, I want to serve Nigeria, then you would accept the will of Nigerians. If Nigerians are in the party and they vote, they will vote for who they think will best represent their interests as presidential candidate. There's no reason why. See, there was a time that all these people were in PDP, and nobody had an issue with that. And they all, they all lined up with the system until, APC, which was a merger of people with different interests, also came together and decided, look, we're going to make this work, and they made it work. So there's no reason why this created PDP, who created APC, who created that. This is the time to put Nigeria first. And that's the way we see it at ADC, that we put Nigeria first. Because if we did this, we wouldn't let, in quotes, strangers come into our midst with the potential to take away what we have built and labored for. So for us to all vote sacrifices, each of us knows that we could be the one that is the chopping block next. On the chopping block next. But the greatest, most important thing is Nigerians deserve to have a credible alternative. We cannot have a one-party system. It's unsafe. It's not good for democracy. It will create nepotism. It will create all kinds of dangers now and in the future. If Nigerians don't have options, they get frustrated. They will not vote. They will run out of the country. And before you know it, we're going to be like some of those countries in Africa where we have presidency for life. So this is really, the idea behind this really is, look, we all need to think of Nigeria. So it's risky for Obi to leave his party. It's risky for Atiku to leave his party. It's risky for El Rufai to leave his party in the hope that through one moving together with all their political friends and adversaries, they can save Nigeria. But if they are taking those risks, the least we can do in ADC is also take the risk of saying, yes, if you do not try, you will never know if this can be a platform that can give Nigerians an option, a credible one at that,
Is the ADC saying that it is opening its doors to all and sundry? And because we're hearing about movements within the APC. In fact, we heard about a mass defection in Borno yesterday from the PDP. Will you open your doors to people who want to join your party from the APC? Because, in fact, there are those who actually say the people who are now in your party that seemingly look like saints are part of the people who put the president there, who used to be members of the APC, who some Nigerians consider part of the problem. How are they supposedly going to be part of the solution to the problem that they themselves created? How does that make you look at as a party?
Well, are we going to be a party of exclusivity or a party of inclusivity? That's the first thing you have to think about. Are we going to be a party that will become the judge, the jury, and determination that you are about? The constitution of the party says anybody who has been convicted in a court of law cannot be a member. Outside of that, every Nigerian, whether they're coming from APC, they're coming from PDP, Labour, NRM, APF, whatever their parties are, if they feel that this platform is a handshake across Nigeria where all Nigerians can be in the same space. When you go to a national youth service, you see people from different universities. You don't say, oh, youth service is only for universities in the east or from the north or from the south or for those who are first class. It's all Nigerians. They come together. Nobody's asking, oh, were you part of a cult or were you part of this Egbe movement and all that? You're going to come together. If we want to save Nigeria, let us experiment with creating a system that we are forced to work together, and we will learn to work together and achieve what Nigeria needs. I am a passionate lover of Nigeria. Anything I'm doing, I put Nigeria first. So my being a chairman of this party is because I believe that I could serve this country. And the moment I begin to see anything that is contrary to service to Nigeria, I'll be out of that as well. That is the reason some people will leave APC. If they wanted to join APC to save Nigeria, and then they began to see that APC is not saving Nigeria, they're going to look for an alternative. And guess what? APC is a credible alternative.
Okay, because I don't have time, I want to open up the phone lines and let people talk to you about what they think. There are many people with high expectations, and there are those who have already shut it down and said, oh gosh, you guys are a disaster in transit. And there are those who expect the best from the ADC. If the vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria were to join, there are allegations that 5 governors might be joining you. There are allegations that even the vice president might get angry because he's being treated badly and join the ADC. Will you receive these people into your party?
Is there any reason why we can't receive them? Is there any law? Is there any rule that says Nigerians from wherever they are, wherever they are, can't come into ADC? The idea of coalition is unity. The word coalition itself means unified. So if people want to come under a unified platform, why should we restrict them from coming? Why should we personalize people's desire to serve within the party, which is right now a unified platform? So I'm not really one of those that keeps looking at people judgmentally. I'm going to say that wherever you come from, once we have experienced how Nigerians have been treated in the world because people have looked at us and stigmatized us and decided that we're all crooks. And so when we get into an assembly in a different nation and we get that, we don't like it because we know we're hardworking people. We know that we have a few people that are terrible, but generally we're hardworking. So in that same respect, we're not going to start discriminating people just because we know that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people, have a bad reputation, politically speaking. So the thing is, we need to let people in. Then we apply our law. So when they violate our laws, then we put in appropriate sanctions. But if they have not broken an ADC rule, why do we want to prevent them from coming into ADC?
But Bob, then that just makes you every other party who's ready to, it makes you look like the APC or the PDP who's ready for any form of crisscrossing or cross-carpeting. I mean, obviously then is no difference, is it?
No, because ADC had its own ideology. That was what people liked. They didn't just come because it was a party. They said they shopped around. They looked at the leadership. They looked at what we believed in, our logos, and what we stand for. If you look at our website, it's extremely comprehensive. And they said, it looks like you are the kind of party that captures this sort of idea of the kind of country we should be. And so they decided to come in partnership. So the issue for us is, do we accept that when they come in, there will be those who are coming in with the best of intentions. There will be those who are coming in with the worst of intentions. Ask a pastor who sets up a church. Is he going to start looking for who is a witch, who is a wizard, who is not supposed to be? The church is only for saints. Then you will hear the gospel that no, gospel is for the sinners. So the issue is you have to open up for the tares and the wheat and the chaff to come into the same place. Okay. And when they keep getting the same ideology over and over and over and over again, they'll begin to understand, okay, this is what this party stands for. Okay. That is why the executives and those who are coming in are going to begin to be tutored or mentored as to what we stand for. I mean, I'm already expressing it in Lagos. I've had several meetings, several phone calls, people from all kinds of parties. I speak to them. They tell you where they're coming from. Some of them are interested in coming to vote. They don't even want to be in the party proper. They just want to know what the party stands for, so that when it's time for election, they will say, okay, we'll vote for your party, but we don't necessarily want to be a member of your party. And then there are those who feel, no, in order for us to be more successful, we have to be in the structure of the party. We bring them in and democratically give the opportunity to serve as long as they serve in Nigeria.
Okay.